this broadcast.
Oh, sorry,
You've
please.
left out.
I need to
Pink.
interrupt you for a second.
Right.
Because we kept talking about a whole lot of things. We've not really addressed the issue of Yele's incarceration in Abuja.
I was actually coming there to say
Yes.
we have spoken about many things, and this
Yes.
last 10
Yes.
minutes, I just want to leave that to you. To please shed
I,
your own
I
opinion.
I would like to touch on that.
Please.
And this is, somebody asked me a few days ago, said, why is it always Yele? And I answered the person, and I think it is very relevant for all of us to hear this. It is always Yele because Yele does not know how to be anything less than human. He doesn't know how to... Even I used to quarrel with him over this. The only grounds I ever had with him was that he was somewhat tempestuous, for want of a better word. It's almost as if Yele is a magnet for trouble. But in recent times, I've learned that Yele is not a magnet for trouble. Trouble in Nigeria comes to everyone who refuses to instinctively embrace slavery. Once you are not willing to diminish yourself physically and spiritually before the oppressive system naturally sees you because you are the only one who hasn't bowed your head in his presence. So the thing about Yele is that Yele is incapable of shrinking in front of evil. He stands tall. So in standing tall, he draws attention to himself. But we should all be glad that it has pleased God to make Yele a bellwether, because he stands there, and when they go after him, if you open your eyes and you truly look, you see that each time they've gone after Yele is because he offends their sense of the right to oppress. What did he do? Yele has been in Abuja now. He's been in government custody since August of last year. They left him.
In fact, it's August 2019.
It's 2019.
That's right.
Then they pretended to take him to court. The Nigerian judiciary is just a painful disgrace sometimes. So a man has been on a trumped up charge. Now he's been restricted to Abuja under very onerous and wicked bail conditions. And then you arrest this man for being at a candlelight procession. And then a magistrate would give such a long adjournment for bail because, see, we've gotten to a point where, why I said we need to talk about Yele is because I think it's gotten to that point where we need to move beyond talking about our judiciary as though it is peopled by ghosts. We need to start mentioning the names of those who are collaborating with this system in the name of administration of justice. The judge responsible for Yele's presence in Abuja on those onerous bail terms has a name. We should start talking about them. The magistrate who has kept that man, I don't know, I've switched off for like a few hours today, and I don't know if Yele is out yet, but the magistrate, the entire system responsible for keeping him the way he is right now, we need to be looking at ourselves and honestly telling ourselves that this is sick. It is completely sick. Yele might be the one that they are clamping in cells, but if we really look at ourselves, we realize that we are the ones in prison. We are really the ones in prison.
I told people, I said everyone is Yele Sowore.
But that's the reality. He hasn't done anything. There is nothing Yele has done that should have him in a prison cell or that should have his freedom curtailed. This is the same country where they are de-radicalizing monsters. But If you really look at it, you would look. It's a simple thing. If you want to see the Nigerian terrorists, look for those demanding citizenship. Under Trump in America, if you want to see the American terrorists, look to the people demanding rights. It is the hallmark of every repressive regime to demonize dissent and then criminalize just demands for rights. Black Lives Matter couldn't have done what happened in Washington, D.C. yesterday. There would have been a bloodbath. And look, what did Yele do? Can't do. What did we do at Lekki? Flag and national anthem.
Flag and anthem.
So it is those demanding rights of oppressive systems that are deemed terrorists. The more oppressive a system is, the more it reacts violently to demands for equalities and rights. So Yele is not the problem in Nigeria. Buhari is the problem. The system that will keep Yele in confinement, that system is the problem. Both the judges, the magistrates responsible for that, they are the problems. But this is where we are for now.
I told people, I said, the problem is not even just Buhari alone. You just mentioned the system. And that is where I want you to give me that roundup. Please.
If you blame it on Buhari,
Buhari will go now.
Anyone who is even blaming this on Buhari is either being fraudulent or intellectually incompetent. A man has to have the capacity before you can blame anything on him. How do you blame pregnancy on an impotent man? How?
Yeah.
How do you blame
that would be a hard one. No, that would be a hard one.
How do you blame pregnancy on an impotent man?
That would be a tough one.
Exactly.
Or a setup.
Buhari is incapable of having this discussion you and I are having. Buhari has not proven himself capable of having a lucid 5-minute conversation in the last 4 or 5 years. He has not had a single robust engagement in public in all, at least in the last 4 or 5 years. Not one public engagement robust like this. Have a discussion that suggests that the man is compos mentis. I refer to him as a ventriloquist doll. You know the ventriloquist show?
Please tell me.
The ventriloquist is Osoyin, what Yorubas call Osoyin. Somebody must be talking before the doll will talk. Buhari is incapable of any original thinking. So how do you blame the failures of Nigeria on Buhari? Buhari is not in
I even told
the system.
Sorry about that, Barrister. I said the system, just like I said, the system.
Yes.
Because even when Buhari is gone, even if they give us Chief Chukwuemeka Nnaji or President Chukwuemeka Nnaji, they will still shoot Biafrans who are demanding for Biafra. Soldiers will still arrest them and still shoot everybody, even though the person is big man. But my friends agree too. Go on.
Go and write it down. If they make Nnamdi Kanu, let them make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the president of this unjust Nigerian state tomorrow. They will still shoot the Igbo at Obi Igbo. Is a system.
Which is right.
The system is in place and it is structured to do something. Until you have taken care of that evil system, the situation remains the same. So that system is what we need to be focused on. It's not Buhari. Buhari will go. Whether he likes it or not, it's like Trump. Eventually he will go. 8 years, that'll be no problem. But when Buhari is gone, what follows? Another disaster. If we have actually kept our eyes open, we would understand that we started with Obasanjo, incredibly talented man when it comes to the capacity for thinking, but completely amoral and incapable of thinking about everybody except himself. He only ever thinks of himself. So that one, he ran around for 8 years. He wasted 8 years. He didn't do anything substantive in 8 years. Nothing to build on. He didn't even plan his own succession. He left. They brought Yaradua. He brought Yaradua. Yaradua brought the same Obasanjo's disaster. His failure to plan his succession brought GEJ. That hubris brought the person they had all run. They ran away from this same Buhari since 1984, 85. They ran away from him. They knew how horrible a human being he was in his first time. But they had no choice but to go and bring him back again because of their error with GEJ. So when people are sitting down and trying to blame this on Buhari, it's because they want us to take our eyes off the system, so that another one of these criminals will come in 2023
and inherit the system again.
And inherit the same system. Nothing will change.
And that's the circle.
To me, one after the other. Let me
Barrister Dele, that is the circle that some of our members of my own generation are trying to break now, and that's why we are going to really be more checked. I want to keep. See, I love keeping people like you around, because the inspiration you have on this generation cannot be under quantified. For those who knows it, you get that now. But for those who don't yet, they would know that the only way to get out of this myriad of problem of Nigeria is to talk about it. I keep saying that. With those who support one Nigeria and they believe that the system is rigged and it needs to go, right? With those who don't believe in the system, believe in one Nigeria, everybody will still have to have a conversation. So if you for the last 2 minutes before you go tonight, sir, I want you to give me a bit of a sort of a closing message, something we can take away from this conversation. And I'm going to be looking forward to the next time I'm going to have you again, sir.
Thank you very much. As usual, it's been a pleasure talking with you. But what I would say, what I would like to leave with each and every one of us as we live tonight is this. The easiest way to Biafra, for those who want to travel to Biafra, and the easiest road to Oodua Republic, for those seeking that destination, still remains through a united, peaceful Nigeria. If we found a way to unite Nigeria and you still want your demand, you still want to go, it becomes easier to have a peaceful discussion that will lead to a peaceful exit. But if we allow ourselves to be pushed into the era of a binary vision where we are unable to see the commonalities of the problem, and we just say, we are going. The moment it becomes that, a lot of people who should ordinarily be our allies are turned off. It then means that the discussion that should be had peaceably would become a discussion that will be had in an atmosphere of strife. I'm not suggesting that the person asking for a homeland is the one looking for trouble. That's not my suggestion. But the people who are at Lekki Toll Gate that evening, they had only flags. They had only their national anthems that they were singing. The Nigerian state could not accommodate them, even in their peaceful demands. It brought the violence. The Nigerian state is always the one who brings violence. So I'm simply saying to all of us that a non-violent posture is actually not a cowardly, it's not a position for cowards. It's a position for brave men. If we are united behind a quest for a better Nigeria, and we can all agree on a common platform of engagement, let the system bring its traditional violence. It will not endure, for the simple reason that those who guard them, who are holding the guns, they are us. They are our brothers, our sisters. Go and see the condition under which this same police that is busy biting everybody, under the condition they are living. I have friends who are in the police, classmates whom I went to university with. If they have to live on their salaries, they can't feed their families. The quarters where they live, their welfare, their lives are not pleasant at all. But we have also failed in our duty to communicate. We have been speaking over people's head. This has to change in